What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? You already know what it is. Welcome to the Freestyle Read, man. We live in effect on your good Wednesday. I hope everybody having a good hump day. What day is it? What day is it? What day is it? What day is hump day? Yeah, you already know we out here on this good old hump day. And you know I can't do the Freestyle Read by myself. I don't never come by myself. I always come with the gang. You know, and I'm gonna introduce my co-host right here, man. I'm gonna introduce my boy. It's a dog eat dog world out here. You already know what the man is. He come with everything. He on Mega Sci-Fi, handle his business at FAMU, handle his business over there, over here, and everywhere. My dog, my guy, Jerry Goodson, man.
What's up, man? You already know we're glad to be here, man. Got some good stuff for you, man. Coming up, y'all stay tuned.
Definitely. And you know I gotta bring the other person on. The lady of the freestyle read. You know, everybody love her. Nobody hate her. I think that's gonna stay forever. Everybody love her, nobody hate her. She here from the boot. You know, she about to get 3 degrees out here. She degreed up. She gonna be like mellow out here soon. Robin McGee.
Hey guys, the band is back together.
Yes, sir. So, but how you guys been?
Well, I'm back in school because spring break is over. So there's that. I really wish this was something else, but it is water. So that's how my week is going. It really is water. No, I'm definitely on my, my natural vibes, getting my figure right. Summer coming up. Okay. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Okay.
Okay.
No, you know it's March Madness. You know a lot of brackets gonna get broken down, so you might be pulling up for people that in the future, get mad at the brackets.
Look, what y'all got going on?
Shoot, Jerry, what you got going on, man? We missed you last week. What you got going on?
Man, work, man. Your kids out for spring break, but grind does not stop. So it's a ongoing machine. So still grinding, dog. I might take a little trip at the end of this weekend, man, to get away for a little bit. But besides that, ain't got much going on.
Definitely. And I gotta introduce, he want me to introduce. I gotta introduce our number one fan down there.
Oh, it's gotta be
Tallahassee. My boy Ray.
Mr. Ray. How you doing, Mr. Ray?
Ray, I got you, my boy. Ray, I got you. He our number one fan. He always keep us motivated, asking us, all of us, what we about to do. What y'all gonna be at the game this year? Man, but I love him, man. I love him.
You have to have a number one fan. You gotta be committed. And Ray things.
Got to. Ray, thank you for showing us love, man. Thank you for showing us love. But let's get into this basketball talk, guys. Talk.
I just want to point out, I do have to shout out our friend Jared Brown. He in Georgia right now. He called it. He said JSU was going to get an upset. And that's just exactly what they did. We're upset. Okay, because who would have thought? Not me. Not I. I didn't think Southern was even going to make it that far. Let alone beat JSU and Arkansas. Come on now. I'm not even going to hold y'all. So I gotta shout out Jared because he called it. He said it smells like it's a JSU upset. Y'all was paying attention.
It was truly an upset alert. It shocked me because I'm like, oh, they're gonna go to the tournament. They're gonna get a higher seed than last year, and they're gonna finally win their first round. That's the way I was thinking. And little do you know, yeah, Southern basically pulled a Kanye West. It was like, if I would have lost, nobody would never know what we would have did.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
But in the other words of Kanye West, houseway.
How did you lose to Southern?
Southern?
They had to get
Look,
revenge. They had to get their revenge from football.
But my thing is this: Southern always fuck around and find out. They find out the way they get their tails somewhere they don't need to be.
mm-hmm.
Just to be honest, they got their tails in the SWAC championship game. And now the girls found themselves in the March Madness.
Did
They finding a way to get where they need to be, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because
I mean, if you get it done, you getting it done.
that's what? Yeah. Then it's no longer a need. Now it's like we here.
But my thing is this: are the kids saving the coach's job, or is the coaches saving his job?
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly, because I mean, as a leader, you have to be in charge for some type of responsibility on how plays are going to be called, what's going into training, what do you do when your athletes are not getting the concepts and whatever listening. Like there's some type of hand that the coaches do play in this game. And I feel like, and vice versa, the athletes take in those messages and then they perform. They apply where necessary, they make their own decisions and all of those things. But I do feel like that does cater into how well they are coached. You know what I'm saying? And I would say that it's one of those games where if we're going to the Southern and Jackson State game, they may have been outcoached or they may have been outplayed. Either or, they both go hand in hand with, I feel like, of how far they've made it comparing to what we anticipated happening, because we didn't anticipate Southern making it that far. That's not even what we talked about last week. You know what I'm saying? So, or really anybody for that matter, for whoever was watching or whatever their opinions were. So it's like, I think in this respect, when we're just talking about Southern as a whole, I feel like, yeah, it was an even Stevens, as far as I'm concerned, because baby, I did not expect that.
I mean, for me, I think it's more of the coaches, and let me tell you why. Beginning of the season, when they were doing the preseason evaluation, who gonna win the conference and all that, I did not hear anybody say Southern was the team that was going to win. Oftentimes, these preseason predictions are based off the players alone. They do not say, we got this coach, he's going to be able to make these adjustments. So with them being able to, kind of take that and run and make a stride for the top, that says a lot about coaching to me, and it says a lot about the players buying into the system, because you have to be coachable in order to be coached by a great coach. So I think the coaching staff has done a great job of, beating Jackson State. Jackson State is not a pushover basketball program. So to beat Jackson State, it says a lot to me more about coaching more than anything, because you have to first get your players to buy in, and then he also has to have a game plan that's going to be effective enough and a better game plan than what they have. And I think he did.
But that last second shot for Southern, they did it again.
It's like this. When you watch, the old Scooby-Doo, and at the end of the part, you say you meddling kids. Goddamn, you meddling Southern. Southern just be meddling around, goddamn. Southern just be meddling around.
Very much so. Absolutely.
Boy, mess up a good dream. Having a good dream too. Southern just coming talking about wake you up. Well, hey, your phone was ringing. I wanted to sleep, bro. How you ain't my phone ringing? Yeah. Shoot.
That's what it was, and that's what it is. The only people that I felt like, even just comparing, I know we're going to talk about the guys a little bit later, but like the only I felt like team that we knew was going to do what they were supposed to do was Norfolk women. We knew that they were going to do what they're doing. So now it's, what are they about to do against South Carolina?
Shout out first and foremost. Shout out to Coach K, because he's the assistant coach.
Coach K, my God, we need to get him on here.
Hey, Coach K, you finally got you on, my guy. You finally got you on, my guy. I'm proud of you.
Y'all, right. In your first season, wasn't this his first season?
His first season at Norfolk for his assistant coaching job. I know he did that. That's tremendous. And they just knocked it out of the park for real. I
Listen.
know. I'm gonna say this for Coach K. I think their seeding was a little bit kind of jagged as far as how they got seeded and who they're playing against.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation can be held another day. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they should have got seeded a little bit higher, probably what 14, 15. I wouldn't say as far as 16. That's kind of low balling them. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, at least they made it. You know.
Well,
Talk.
and this is now my next question. Is it now that we know the seat for them, does it really matter knowing who they're going up against? Because I mean, South Carolina, the best right now. So it's like, does that seat truly now hold as much weight as if they were playing another team?
Yeah. For
It
I
depends
don't
on how
know.
they do.
Okay.
It depends on how they do. You know, if they show up and they play a good game, you know, even if they lose by 10, 15 points, that's still a lot better than what people are predicting.
Yeah. I
That
feel
boy,
that.
man.
Sure, but I feel like this like seeding does matter. Who you playing against does matter because you made it. Like you have to draw like it's positional. Like now we come to the age where it's positionless basketball. We really don't have a true legit center. We really don't have a true legit shooting guard or power forward. And right now we're playing positionless basketball where everybody should be able to play all five positions at one time almost.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going against a team like South Carolina, like it's harder for the low level teams to compete in some type of way. I know basketball is different. One person can change the game. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
You can get that one person, they completely change the game. But when you're talking about South Carolina and the creme de la creme of
Yeah.
basketball right now,
Yeah.
and you gotta come in and you gotta do everything right. Like
Yeah.
everything. You got to rebound, not
Yeah.
foul, get the offensive rebound. Make sure you outlet pass. If you're doing full court, make sure you're doing full court right. Make sure we're
Mm-hmm.
trapping. Make sure we're fouling. Make sure we're not fouling while we're trapping. It's those little things you have to do right in the tournament, and those little things can make you or break you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a tough task.
I
Mm.
I want to see, man. When was the last time we didn't have, like HBCU made it to the tournament and they didn't have that low of a seed? 'Cause I feel like every year it's always the last seed.
I mean, last year Jackson State, like they even though they said
But
they
they
shouldn't have got the seeding they got, but you got to think about it. Like it's literally who you play and who you beat during your how can I say it before conference play.
Yeah.
Like Jackson State literally set themselves up to be number like 10, 10, 9, 11, 12, even 13 seed. They were setting themselves up to be that high because who they beat and who they played against. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not. I feel like it's kind of you have to have better recruiting. You have to do everything like on 10 to be that caliber of a team.
mm,
Yeah.
And if you have to follow Coach Reed, if you have to follow Jackson State girls philosophy, then that's what you got to do, bro. Like they look at who you play.
yeah, strength of schedule.
So
I feel like that's what everybody, all sports, like not just basketball, football, all of that.
I
And I,
think to me basketball is a different monster because like Jerry, like I said, one person can change the game. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like all 11 of us got to work as an equal unit. Like, just like LeBron said, like, if I shoot the ball and I know this person rebound the ball, I know he's going to pass it back to me.
Yeah.
And I can go down the court and pass somebody the ball, and I know he's going to pass it right back to me. So like, basketball is a different monster, but at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport as far as the defensive side of the ball, but, it's tricky when you talk about basketball. I mean, for me, it is.
Yeah.
Football, that's a whole different story.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like in basketball you can't have teams that aren't necessarily the better team win the game, and that happens a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Ron, you had kind of mentioned Jackson State. How do we feel like this matchup against Memphis is going to look tomorrow? Because Memphis, they it's been a minute since they've made it in postseason. I think they said maybe 7 years since maybe 2015, 2016 season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a minute for them, while that isn't the case for Jackson State. Do you feel like that is, potentially an advantage that Jackson State has over Memphis?
Uh, yeah, I think Jackson State, they need to be pissed right now. I think that's
Mm,
one of their advantages right now.
mm-hmm.
They need to be pissed, and Memphis is probably going to underestimate them. I know it's going to be a dogfight. I know it
Yeah,
is. At the end of the day, it's definitely going to be a dogfight. It's definitely going to be, just them going back and forth. But at the end of the day, who make mistakes
right.
is who literally makes those mistakes.
Yeah, yeah. I
True.
agree. I feel like anytime somebody plays HBCUs, they always are, doubting them and doubting how good they are. So I don't think this game is going to be anything different. Um, so I guess we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Jackson State either has they got two different things they can do. Either they can, buckle down and look at that last game like, dang, bro, we really lost the last game.
Yeah.
Get our stuff together,
Yeah.
or they can kind of, piss down the leg and be like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do, y'all. We lost
Right.
the last game. We not a team, so it just depends on what your team is made of. How
Yeah.
do you
That makes
adversity?
sense.
But I can say this, Jerry, like they did already lose one game, and we saw how they bounced back. They won. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the formula is still there. I think, their tenacity, their grit is still there. And if I'm playing on Jackson State, I'm playing a woman going crazy. A diary of a mad black woman. That's
All
what I'm
right.
playing. I'm
All
playing
right,
just
Tyler
like a
Perry.
movie. A diary of a mad black woman.
A
Go ahead.
woman scorned.
What?
Look, that's a dangerous place. When a woman is scorned, when they have gone through something, heartbreak, anger, frustration, a loss,
Mm.
which Jackson State lost. So, I agree with you on that respect, Ron. I feel like because that was something that I thought about of like it is one of those things where we all knew or anticipated a certain result. And it's not like they're blind eyed to that or deaf ears on everybody's having their expectations on where they felt like they were going to go into this postseason conference, game. And it's like you did all of that and you lost. So it's like, and lost on a nail biter.
Exactly.
On a nail like
It wasn't nothing.
hurt,
It wasn't we got an ass beat. It
you
is
know?
damn, she just made the
She-
shot.
she's like, "Come
Mm.
on." And they had already did it to somebody else, or the men's did, to FAMU actually. But it's crazy.
That,
It's
that's a that's a different story, Rob.
hey, hey,
That's
hey,
a
hey. I
whole.
touched, I touched, but I'm back up. But no, yeah, I just feel like that is very, understandable on their emotions behind, going from that game now having to reframe your mindset, having more days off and going into this game with South Carolina. So I'm very excited to see how that's gonna work, or not South Carolina, Memphis. So I'm very excited to see that and what they're gonna do. But on the men's side, who surprised y'all on the men's side? I'm very eager to see what you got.
I mean, I think everybody knows that answer. Texas Southern.
Actually, it's
Texas
so
Southern.
funny. It's so funny because I should have said this last week, but I was giving credit to Jackson State men. Crazy. But I was like, I'm thinking back, and Texas Southern has been that creep up type of team.
We
They've been that way.
we always
I see you shaking your head, Jerry. What?
But
we always
Robin,
said that. Like,
we talked about it last week, Robin. This
Mm-hmm.
men's swap was a toss up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't know
Very slippery
who.
slope for sure.
Yeah, we didn't know who was going to come out.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a long time ago. It's just, Texas Southern being that creep up team. We've always said they were a creep up team, and they
Yeah.
actually shooting on that. So big shout out to them for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And let's talk about Howard because they do care about basketball. They getting a new court.
Hey,
They
in
getting a new
31
court.
But wait, listen, this is their first tournament play for NCAA in 31 years.
And that's how many $1 million that court costs. 31.
You know, because
But
reparations, I don't know, but it's like 31 years.
people,
So I'm really excited to see, how far they go because it's been a minute for Howard, and I'm very excited to see that Ron, as you put it, they care about basketball.
oh,
They care about basketball. And you know why they care about basketball? Even the Kentucky coach said something about him. He was like, they're the most scariest team right now in the MEAC. And when you get that type of notoriety from Kyle, how you say his name? I can't even say his name. Yeah. That's a stamp. That's a stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Shoot, that is a stamp of approval for real.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all follow on social media, but people are big mad about the upgrades going on at the stadium.
They're mad.
Well,
who is mad? What they talking about?
The students at Howard were mad because of how bad their dorms are. Like they were like, "Well, y'all can."
They were living in tents,
but we got to stay in tents. We ain't got no hot water. We ain't got this. We ain't got that. And I'm like, ugh, that's a bad look. But in all actuality, like I do feel like upgrading the stadium will bring in more recruits, better recruits. You have a better team, which in return bring in more people to your stadium, which in return will bring more. But I don't know. No hot water.
If we really know, and I'm sorry, students, I get it, but sports can really make the monies that y'all are so-called, upset. Not so-called. I don't want to say it like that. Language is key.
They make upset, Robin.
Don't want to get canceled. But no, it's just one of those things where like they strong. And I ain't got a blue check yet. Like green and shit. It's like, hold on now. But no, like I understand from the perspective of yes, are people's sometimes priorities in the wrong places? Arguably, yes. And a lot of times it does come down to our HBCUs and how they allocate funds, where those funds are coming from, the lack of funds thereof. I get it. But to your point of, Jerry, like this is a way to bring in the money that we are lacking, to bring in the consistent revenue, to bring in the partnerships, to bring in all of these things that we are so desiring so that we can put money into these areas that are slacking. Be able to allocate more funds elsewhere on the campus. But it's when we really think about it, we think about these big schools who have the money. Sports 9 times out of 10 are the reason why, because of the excitement around it, the fan base, the connections that you're making with the community. All of those things play into how much money you receive on a day-to-day basis. And it's literally day-to-day, guys. Like we need to be receiving money every single day somewhere. So I don't know. I'm all for it. It's still bringing benefit to the students. Now, is it a population of students that doesn't recognize the whole student body? Yes, it's for the athletes. However, long-term thinking, guys, this could be really good for the university as a whole. So I don't know. I like it. I love good facilities and new facilities everywhere.
Yeah. But Jerry, you gotta think about this. Who gave them that court? It's not like, oh, we just decided to use the building fund to build a new court. Like what transpired them to do these certain things? I understand. Yeah, Howard, they need some new stuff. Yeah, they need a new football stadium. That's what they need.
Yeah,
that's what they need. They need to do something. But they playing out there with the gridiron game.
No, literally. Literally.
Shoot. Boy, if I was
Oh,
on a recruit
man.
who took the high play
Yeah.
football, I'd be like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
hey, got that out.
They got
Yeah.
shackled. The little
I ask
white
him this.
ball.
I ask him this. Do y'all got a dual scholarship for basketball too? Like, can I play basketball too?
Right.
Like,
You know
Play
they be
both.
doing that. They be doing two sports as long as it doesn't conflict.
like, can I play basketball too now? I'm just not a one sport athlete. I can do both.
Mm-hmm. We've
No.
seen a multitudes of athletes that are able to balance.
It's
I
a
don't
lot.
know about both basketball and football though, because I think they don't they kind of like overlap because basketball starts in like
October.
November, right?
They kind of do, but it's still some.
Okay, look, I don't
It's
know.
still some athletes that do it.
Yeah.
It's still
A
some
lot.
athletes that do it.
That's
Julie
crazy.
first did it at
Yeah.
Carolina. I got a teammate at Winston.
Donovan McNabb did it.
Basketball and football.
Yeah. Somebody
Know
from
that?
Jackson State did it too. I forgot his name.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people do. Like I saw a couple of athletes that were football players and track athletes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, granted, basketball is a harder basketball, not an easy sport to play. Like
No,
you
it's
can't
not.
run.
The way I be huffing and puffing around the court, oh my God.
If you play college basketball, most likely you train your whole life to play college basketball.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even asthmatic, but I definitely be needing a little pump because it's running up and down the court.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
I
shout
commend
out.
you.
Oh yeah. Also too. This Robin. Shout out to Alcorn men. They made it to the NIT too. We don't want to forget about them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cause
But I knew Alcorn was gonna go all the way. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to see y'all continue. It's just, it's always really great to see them get to the first round. But it's like, let's keep pushing. Keep going.
keep going.
Like, I think that we are experiencing this okay, the euphoric feeling of seeing our HBCUs in NCAA, tournaments at this caliber, which is an accomplishment. Don't want to take that away. Now we're like, let's push. Let's continue the vibes that we can, have some traction within the tournament. And not just say, hey y'all, all right, we did it.
Better recruiting. That's the whole goal. Yeah.
But better recruiting does come from people being invested in your program. You gotta win. You gotta win.
Yeah.
And this is a great step for all of the teams that have made it, including Alcorn.
Yeah. Disappointed at the school that I went to. We're gonna talk about that on another note.
Well, every dog has his day.
Yeah, every dog
Aren't
does
y'all
have his day. Every snake does go into some tall grass, and the lawnmower just come around.
Their season is next season. The Rattlers next season. I have a feeling.
Okay. I got to talk to a couple of these coaches that I know.
Well, we have a whole new compliance team, and we got some other things going, like just another day to be alive and training.
Chad Johnson just got on with it, so that may help us a little bit. So, I wish a certain king or a certain person that plays in LA would actually do some help with recruiting or do some pop-up visits or practice with the team.
Wait, we have a marketer now. What is an ambassador? We have Ocho Cinco.
I'm just saying, like I feel like we should have been at least in the SWAC tournament.
It might be in the works, man. He got a hell of a network, man. So you don't know who he contacted.
Well, for me, I hope he brings somebody because we need some help.
That's all right, Rattlers. Y'all still fam. But yes, shout out to all the basketball teams that have advanced into the first round, NCAA tournaments. Did we forget anybody? Did we talk about everybody?
No, I think that's it. I think we talked about everybody, but I think that's a
Yeah,
good
he
point
is
too.
Ohio State focused for sure.
Yeah, because that I think his son about to go to
Because
a
his son, yeah,
yeah. So
Bring him to FAMU.
literally, that would
shoot,
be an upset.
he'll be the first 30 and 10 player every game. 30 and 10.
You know what? I only think Bronny would consider that if like, LeBron.
If his brother come, then another person come. If his brother will come and another person come, then he consider.
I tell you what, Bronny
I don't
coming
know. I
out.
would say something more on the lines of like LeBron has to like coach, but he wants to play with his dad. So he's not going to do that unless LeBron just takes a year off while, Bronny is in college and then goes back to the NBA. He can do what he wants.
Damn
So,
it.
wow, that is a good idea. LeBron, if you're listening,
If
if you
LeBron
want
is
a
tuning in,
little assistant job, head coach position, whatever, go to FAMU, Tallahassee. Go there. It's
take a couple
great.
years off. Be like,
It's
hell,
great.
Bill Russell was the coach. He was a player coach with the Celtics.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yeah.
definitely possible. There's no rule that says that once you retire, you can't go back.
Right.
Like, if I want to work, I want to work. But yeah. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it's a wish. It's a prayer.
I said, oh,
Yeah.
Bronny just got to go to homecoming. He gonna want to come to FAMU.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
We gotta get them. We
Oh
gotta
yeah.
get them.
But next topic, man.
Football. What spring game are you looking forward to? Start it off, Ron. What are you looking forward to the most? You be in there. You be on the sideline.
I'm looking forward to Grambling spring game.
Why? What's going on?
Why? Because you gotta think about it. It's Hughes Jackson. It's his what? Second year? Third year. So it's Hugh Jackson third year. He should have everything set in stone to where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it takes about 3-year mark. Usually. It should. It should. I mean, some cases, like our coach Willie Simmons, it didn't have to take him 3 years. He just came in there, guns blazing, hell raising, and we was winning games. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point right there. But at the end of the day, I feel like he'll have a tremendous season this year. I really want to see what kind of offensive powerhouse playbook that he has, because he's an offensive playbook person. He is an offensive person. So I need to see something. I need to see something that'd be like, ooh, I need to be seeing some oohs and ahs from Grambling this year.
Yeah.
Just to be honest. And another team I'm looking forward to is Texas Southern with Andrew Body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's another returning player that, I think he need to get some wins underneath his belt. I think he need to go to the SWAC championship to solidify his career. Now that Dion's gone, now that Shador Sanders gone for us the quarterback position, he can try to dominate that position as far as the best quarterback in the SWAC. I know he got some competition with Musa and probably another up and coming quarterback, but this is his year to dominate. And at the end of the day, definitely Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson State, and last one is FAMU. Those are really like the 4 teams I'm looking forward to. Watching their spring game, seeing what's going on, who's going to be these key players.
Yeah. The last 2, man, are for me, man. I'll start off with Jackson State because it's the aftermath.
Yeah.
What are y'all going to do now that you don't have your heart beating, the beating heart that you had for the past 2 years? What are you going to do without Shador? Who's going to be the quarterback? Who's coming in? Because I'm not going to lie, a lot of times the spring does not decide who's going to be the starting quarterback, but you can see working with. So I do want to see the transfers that they brought in, because we had a lot of people say they had a lot of good guys transfer in and had a better recruiting class. I think Ron might have said that than FAMU, or somebody said it. Somebody on here said
that. You're talking about the statement. I said I give FAMU a B.
He said it.
I said I give FAMU a B for recruiting.
And what
And
did you
that and that was and
He
that was
he
at
said
and
it,
that was
Jerry. I
at,
was
and that
there.
was at the period before National Signing Day. I never did give him a grade after. That was before National
oh,
Signing Day.
okay,
So
okay.
so oh yeah, see,
Let
I
me
got it on
I
wax
got
now.
Look,
I
almost
got it on
get him,
wax.
Ron. Get him.
I
You
got
better
it on
tell him.
wax now.
okay. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, hey, I just want to check the facts, dog. I could have sworn you said Jackson State had a higher grade in recruiting than FAMU.
And
Ron
you know
said
the
all
reason why I
facts, no
said that,
printing.
because they had to fill more positions than FAMU,
Hmm.
because you're losing Dion, you're losing Travis Hunter, you're losing Shiloh, you're losing all these people to go to Colorado, and you got to fill those positions.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to fill it. You just can't fill them with no Joe Smo average person. They filled those positions with
I
some
think
good athletes.
I'll take that. So
Yeah.
have we looked at any of their quarterbacks?
I looked at one of them. He came from JUCO. I didn't really look at the other. I think it was one more. I looked at the one from JUCO. He looked pretty good to me. From what I saw on tape, he can throw the ball. He was. I can't even think of the quarterback name from Southern. That was just, he couldn't hit the left side of a barn.
Oh,
McCray. Yeah, McCray. Yeah. He
McCray.
he he is like a McCray, but he could throw the ball. He could throw the ball.
Oh, he's a dual threat.
Yeah, he's a dual threat quarterback. One of the best quarterbacks coming out of JUCO though. He was one of the best quarterbacks coming out of JUCO.
Okay, I have to look into that. But
Yeah.
number one, gotta be fam, man, because it's so many people that I've seen. They brought in from big time Division I programs. We got Nebraska, we got UCF, we got people across the board, man. That it's just like, oh, check mark, check mark. It's a lot of pieces that have come in here, man. A lot of pieces from, matter of fact, Buffalo. If it was all like all the signing day stuff that we saw, people come from everywhere. So I'm
Yeah.
interested. I want to see how they're going to do. When it hits the wall. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. All this stuff looks good. You can be a 5-star recruit, 4-star recruit, but when the pads go on, y'all got to line down as a man. So all
Mm-hmm.
window. So I'm really excited to see that, man, and excited to see these guys get into it. So
You know what I'm excited to see? I'm gonna step out of the swag. I'm gonna be that person. But and not even excited is the word. I wouldn't say that, but I'm curious. North Carolina A&T, because one thing about it, they lost their head coach, right? They let go of their longtime head coach at North Carolina A&T, which I'm actually not surprised, because the A&T kind of had this top ride and then started to go here, and it's been in this decline for a little minute, I feel like. But I don't know if that's
Yeah.
why. I don't know if that's why. But I also feel like this switch that they're doing into a different conference, right? Because they were in the Big South, and now they're transitioning into CAA, right?
Yep.
Totally different conference, different competition. We kind of talked about that at the beginning of last season. So and then furthermore, they lost a lot of players to the transfer portal. So it's kind of chaotic over there. So I'm like, what y'all got going on? I want to know. So it's that's I think that's where I'm coming from. It's just the curiosity to see. They scored some really good recruits coming into this 2023 season, but still interested in seeing how well they're gonna mesh that all together. Which, April for spring is still very early, but still, I feel like,
so
are y'all heading to the right direction or what?
do you feel like because I honestly don't feel like they went down because of coaching. I think it was just because of the transition into a whole different conference. I think if they were still in the MEAC, they would want to be at.
Well, here's my thing. I think it has to do with the coaching in the aspect of you're knowing that you're not in the MEAC anymore. So what you did with the MEAC, how you trained your athletes, cannot be the same way because you're in a different conference. So I feel like, with that being said, do I feel like it has everything to do with the coaches? No. I don't think it has everything to do with that, but I feel like there was a point that I have a strong belief that there was conversations about could this coach sustain being in a different conference or being in a, especially now that they're in CAA, which I don't know how arguably more competitive or less competitive it is to the Big South, but again, it's not the MEAC. You know what I'm saying? So
but Robin, we're talking
we
about
know the MEAC. I mean, like it's we and I feel like even Central now and Central even just because of these last couple of years we've seen them grow, but like outside of these teams, we can argue South Carolina, like who else is really providing the level of competition as what they have been experiencing with the Big South and now probably going to be experienced with CAA.
But
mean,
Robin, go ahead.
I think we might end up saying the same point. Like A&T did not do bad last year. They only lost one conference game. Like if you want to look at the conference, they only lost one conference game, but their overall record was 7-4. And I think, like, to me, you have to be able to get comfortable in knowing what these other teams are doing before you can even evaluate your coaches on how they're coaching. So, like, you get 2 or 3 years in, now you're like, well, we know what this team is going to run. We know what offense they run. We've seen this on film. We've seen that on film. And your first year in, you can't do that. I think they've been in that. How long have they been in the conference?
Not long.
For
South? The Big South?
Yeah.
I think 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. So I mean, that's I don't.
And the second year they went to the conference championship.
Yeah, that's saying a lot. Like to me, that's overachieving. Because I don't know any team that just goes, well, FAMU kind of. Yeah.
Well, I think for me it's one of those things where it's like I'm using it as a subjective term when I say going down in a sense because I feel like
Robin, you saying that you don't feel the swagger, you don't feel the lightning in the air,
at all.
you don't feel like it's North Carolina A&T,
right? Okay. That's a very good point of putting at it because I feel like how they were with the MEAC was just such an elevated sense. Yeah, like
you felt them when they was coming.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like not to say that Coach Washington was necessarily someone who wasn't going to be able to reach the level of expectation, within the new conference, which we, like you said, Jared, that's a very good point. You can't really evaluate it when they haven't been in that space for a long time, as long as they've been with MEAC. I just feel like there is the sense of the ride that they had being in the MEAC, especially for football specifically. Like I even had a conversation with the athletic director. Not all, but what he values is winning. Like values it to the point where our conversation had to do with adding another sport. And literally this man told me with his chest, which I respect, is he was like, we think about adding a new sport, it needs to be a championship winning sport, period.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, but as an athletic director, I can understand why.
You gotta respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, you want all of your sports to be that for your program, especially for an HBCU, who again, we just talked about. We talk about money, we talk about revenue, we talk about exposure, all of those things. So with that being said, I just feel like, have there been, in my mindset, do I believe that there's been conversations about like him being able to fit that expectation of wherever we go, Big South, CAA, whoever, are you going to be able to lead this team toward what our expectation has already been set, prior to or previously? And I don't know. And like I said, I don't really know Coach Washington like that, but the fact that he's been with that team for so long, and now coincidentally after moving, it's just kind of hard to believe that he didn't play a role in the decision. So that's all. But that's why I'm curious to see what's going to happen now with this new leadership for this team.
Definitely. We'll see. I'm kind of, I've always rooted for him, so I honestly think it's going to be the opposite. I think they're going to,
You think they're going to plummet?
I don't think they will do as well as what they would have done with Coach Washington.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is gonna be really sad because it's like not you gonna get into a whole new conference and suck. Like,
yeah.
come on
But
now.
one more team I do want to talk about since you want outside the SWAC and the MEAC is Tennessee State. It's Eddie George's
Mm,
third year. He had back-to-back losing seasons. He
yeah.
actually, he came on Club Shay Shay, talk about, this is a season for us. He had everything prepared. He got his players, he got his coaches, he got everything set up for him. So that just came in my head. So shout out to Tennessee State and Eddie George. Make sure y'all, win y'all. I
Yeah.
want y'all to have a winning season this year because everybody's saying, "Oh, teams outside the if you playing outside the SWAC, you're not good. You're not doing good." That's how everybody presented. But just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing, keep grinding. Keep moving forward. Eddie George he got that team solidified. I think this year is going to be his best year as far as coaching.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Just overall, I'm interested in seeing how, Tennessee State is going to do this season. Do you still think that they're going to entertain the idea of the SWAC?
Robin, I think that's a love-hate relationship between them and the SWAC
Mm-hmm.
because they still want to play teams in the SWAC, but they don't want to be a part of the SWAC.
Mm.
And like, I think it has to. I think who the commissioner has a big part to do with that. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
people. I know people watch the show, so I'm gonna just keep it like that. I think a lot of people have to have a sit down conversation.
Yeah.
That's what's really gotta happen and speak the facts, not
Mm.
what's fake or what's news out there. They have to calm down, speak the
Yeah.
facts, talk about the terms, talk about if we're going to be added, what other team is going to be added to,
Right.
because that has to happen if you're taking another team into the SWAC. Another team has to be added.
Yeah.
So that's the big picture of that if Tennessee State wants to come back to the SWAC, which like right now I don't think they do, but at the end of the day, they still play SWAC teams.
Yeah.
They low key miss. I know some fans miss that environment, miss the HBCU play, but
Yeah.
that's something. Yeah, that's a conversation.
Was was SWAC ever? I mean, SWAC. Was Tennessee State ever in SWAC, or they've never been in the SWAC, and it's just an idea that has been brewing these last couple of years?
Was they in the SWAC? That
I
that's
believe.
that,
I don't think they were. They were in another conference. I can't remember which conference it was. I don't think it was a SWAC though.
yeah. I don't think they were never in the SWAC.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if I was Tennessee State, I'd go to the MEAC. Forget all
That's what
that.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I'll go to the MEAC.
Well, that actually has been conversations for Tennessee State to consider. Because it's not like they don't. I mean, what kind of what teams do they normally play that are currently in the MEAC? Tennessee State. Do we know that
I
off the
don't think
top
they
of the
play
dome?
nobody.
But they're
Do
not
they?
really that far.
Yeah, I mean they're not geographically wise as far as the map. They're not that far from South Carolina, North Carolina A&T. I mean not North Carolina, North Carolina Central,
Yeah.
Norfolk. They're not far from those teams to travel to make that travel. So I
Yeah.
mean, I'll do it. If I was Tennessee State, I'd rather move to the MEAC than the SWAC. And
I
yeah,
mean, they will be playing Norfolk this year, this
okay,
upcoming season. They'll be playing Norfolk in October,
okay.
but this will be the first matchup between the two schools since 1972.
God dang.
So, I mean, a majority of their schedule is out of HBCU land. Like they're only playing I mean, not Kennesaw, um, Norfolk
Mm-hmm.
and UAPB.
Yeah, they're playing UAPB
And
for
even that, this is TSU's first year playing them. Let's see. Oh no, they're just saying that this will be the first time that they're playing Arkansas for the Southern Heritage game as opposed to Jackson State. So, but I don't know when's the last time they played Arkansas Pine Bluff. So, but yeah, that'll be interesting if that conversation comes back up. It's kind of like what that looks like for them because that is swag geographically will be easier, but could they thrive in the MEAC?
Exactly. I feel like they'll thrive.
I think
You
it's
know?
a bigger issue. I don't know what that issue is, but if everybody's running from the MEAC, it's got to be something that's going on that's pushing people away. So
I mean,
that might be a reason why they're not joining.
but
Yeah.
it was the old president. You gotta think about it.
The commissioner for
The old commissioner. My
yeah.
bad. It was the old
No, I was
commissioner.
no. I agree with you, Brian, because I was just about to say this new leadership. I feel like
It's way better.
yeah, Sonia Steele, shout out to her. She I feel like is a great adversary for getting MEAC and where it could be. Because I mean, I follow her on social media and like LinkedIn and things like that. And I see the things that she's trying to implement, not even maintain, but also just, grow within the conference. So I think that'll be really good. But, also it's not just on them. It has, the athletic directors need to do their job at their universities, and then the coaches need to do their jobs under the athletic director. So it's like, it's a lot of things that need to be worked on within the MEAC, but I feel like they're better heading in a different direction than they were before.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. It's kind of like the rebuilding stage. I compared it actually to FAMU. Getting a great leader in place and getting those things back on track now. So
yeah.
Shout out to Coach Willie Simmons.
That is
great leader. Great leader. And we're gonna take a small commercial break. Shout out to FAMU softball team for going undefeated in the SWAC.
Nice.
They was whooping ass and taking names like it wasn't bad. So that's our little commercial break. Congratulations to FAMU. Yeah, so
I did want to provide a quick update as well. Texas Southern is down 50-69 to this is of course the first game of the the tournament against Fairleigh Dickinson Knights. It's a private school in New Jersey.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, they have 5 minutes left in the second half. So y'all wondering what's going on. They're gonna keep pushing.
They turn it around.
Well, they got 5
you
minutes.
can do a lot with 4 minutes.
Yeah, you can. You can
do a lot.
You can.
You have to do a lot.
That's what I said, right? You only got 4.
So yeah. I was about to say something, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. But go ahead, Rob, with this one. I'm gonna let you lead this one off.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Xavier Smith definitely rallies. He had a interview with Steve Smith. Now, who is Steve Smith, Ron? Tell the audience who is.
No. You saw Jerry's face. I'm a receiver. I'm a receiver, and
because it ain't Stephen A. Smith.
No. I'm gonna let Jerry talk to you because he a Panther fan. I'm gonna let the Panther fan tell you who is Steve Smith because it wouldn't do me justice if I did it. I'm gonna let Jerry.
Steve Smith is the more important Steve Smith. Stephen A. got nothing on Steve Smith.
Okay.
Steve Smith is the 5'9" wide receiver, 195-pound wide receiver that played for the Carolina Panthers, return specialist, the best wide receiver that the Panthers have ever had in history. 5-time Pro Bowl selection, 3-time All-Pro. Is one of the most productive NFL wide receivers in NFL history.
I know that's right. You better.
Yeah, so that's why I said that's why I told you I'm gonna let Jerry tell you because he a Panther fan, so
Now, how big is it to have that resume repertoire? You know, to be that, such high status of player, and you know have a conversation with an a player who is trying to get to that level, who is definitely on the path to being as successful, and just so happens to be an HBCU athlete. How does that look? What is this really doing for both Xavier and just, the team that he's representing?
Man, I'm gonna go, Jerry.
No, man, go ahead.
Okay, I only got one comment to say for is that well, where's my money?
Mm,
That's what his
mm,
need to be saying. Where is my money? When you get validation from an NFL future Hall of Famer receiver like Steve Smith. And
mhm,
we ain't talking about no receiver that's a diva. We ain't talking about no receiver that's do it for the glitz and glamour. We talking about a receiver that like he like to
The
fight.
dog.
He yeah, basically what people say in the hood, he down with the shits.
mhm,
like
mhm.
yeah, so we talking about a receiver like that played with Chad Johnson on the junior level, going up to college. He been through that situation, the same situation that Xavier Smith been through.
Mhm.
So you talking about a caliber receiver like that gives you a stamp of approval, that gives you all basically all he said, all he heard was the 4-4-3-8.
Yeah.
He said that's all he heard, and he said after that, he looked at everything. He looked at his film. He looked at literally all his game film, his route running, the way he catch the ball. He looked at everything, and he was like, if Xavier was playing at a Power Five school, he would go first round.
Okay.
That's his exact words.
Yeah.
And Jerry, I'm gonna let you take the floor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, Steve Smith is, like Ron said, a future Hall of Famer. He's not one to hold his tongue. He's not one to sugarcoat. I've seen him talk about players on his show, and he'll criticize a lot of players. For example, one of the top receivers in his draft, I think it's Quentin Johnson. He talked about how he didn't think his route running was good.
Yeah.
Think how he did this and didn't do that, and he didn't really see him being a first round receiver. So for him to take that same guy and say that Xavier Smith will be a first round guy if he went to a bigger school says a lot about what these teams need to be doing, looking into drafting Xavier Smith. So Zay is definitely about to get paid. And I'm very excited for him because he's a very humble young man. He deserves every penny that he gets and more. So that 4-3, like I say, that 4-3 like a black card, dog. It'll get you anywhere. You'll get in anywhere with that.
And I think also to chime in on that is that one, the conversation was definitely about his athleticism, his ability to, reach the level that he's trying to do, seeking advice from Steve, all of those things playing into it. But we really got a chance to get to know Xavier from like how he got invested, the fact that he was an Amazon driver, package dealer, and then now, is where he is athletically with his craft of football. I think this should be done more for our athletes, especially like how you guys described. This is a prime example of being able to, one, name, image, and likeness, baby. Because my name is being, thrown in there with greats now. You know what I'm saying? This is now accessible. If y'all don't know where it is on YouTube, fans, y'all go watch it. But it's giving them an opportunity to not only showcase, their professionalism through athletics, but who they are as people. Because sometimes we
Mhm.
forget about that, especially because we
Mhm.
get so invested and following athletes and who they are as a football player, basketball player, softball, whoever. But like, who are you as a person? What are your values? How do you see yourself? Because my thing is, this young man is going to do so many interviews, so
Mhm.
many, and it's like it's
Mhm.
almost like we want to see him. Like, I want to talk to
Mhm.
Xavier. And
Oh,
that's key.
okay, okay.
That's very key. Ron,
Hmm,
talk to me, baby. I know it's on
okay.
the, it's itching you. It is itching
Yeah,
you.
I want to talk about this little comment first. They talked about more than football. They talked about money. They talked about life. They talked about how you turn on and off the switch. It's a good conversation after football. Like he literally learned things outside of football in that
Yeah.
conversation. Definitely go watch it. If you need to learn some money tips, definitely go watch it. But
Yeah.
Robbie, you hit on certain points. Interviewing players.
Mm.
Why doesn't the well, first off, why doesn't the SWAT does that? Interview players.
Not
Okay,
a
to get
segue.
to get to know them. I'm wondering. I know a couple of people in YouTube land that does interview players, and some of them don't even get paid.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I.e.,
but it's on this doggone show right now.
and y'all watching the show right now. I done interviewed a couple of these,
Right now.
including Xavier Smith. So, Robin. So these things that you're saying they coming in fruition. Like, why don't we have these things? Why don't we spotlight these kids? Why
Yeah.
don't we start them out young as a freshman and watch them actually grow up as a senior? Why don't we have certain things like that? We should be having shows after shows after shows of different schools with different athletes, and it's crazy that you know even though a Hall of Famer put a stamp of approval on Steve Smith, I can never do that. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, a Hall of Famer played in the NFL. Give kudos to Steve Smith for doing that. He's not doing that for charity. He's not doing that for likes. He's doing that because he still loves the game. So I commend that for Steve Smith and Xavier Smith to come on his show and they talk about football. But at the end of the day, Robin, like, why do we wait for these things?
Mm.
maybe that's
Why?
your
Huh?
maybe that's your role.
I mean, but Jerry, my thing is this: it didn't take much for me to do it.
Right.
So my problem with the SWAC and the MEAC and other HBCUs is like they think it's a whole, we gotta do a whole conglomerate of things to make this happen.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna go ahead and go into the next topic because like that's what
Segue.
yeah, we just go ahead and say why HBCU slacking on social media. To me, I think they're just being lazy.
Mm.
Like, because to be honest with you, the only teams I see constantly on social media was FAMU and Grambling.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like both of FAMU and Grambling can step up their media game. I really think they can. Like,
Yeah.
even step it up to another level that nobody has seen it before.
Yeah.
I feel like they can do a lot of things because FAMU and Grambling has the production down pat. They just need
Right.
to get the people. But as far as these other colleges, what you doing? Like, why is this not out yet? What? Like, why? Alabama State, y'all got the best facilities in the SWAC.
Yeah.
Well, why y'all not utilizing those facilities?
You know what
And
I also think it is, Ron? I'm a give you my 2 cents, right? I think in addition to your point about the laziness, the not willing to put in the effort because you perceive it to be such a obstacle. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like how you say, like it's so easy for you to be like, "Hey, Zay, want you on the show?" Boom. Or it's so easy for us to be in those places to be like, "Let's have a conversation. I want to talk to you." And look, they be on our show. Period. So it's like we get it, and you made a very good point because it doesn't take that much effort. I want to say that I feel like we also need to reach into our beautiful bag of students that attend these universities,
exactly what I was
Thank
about to
grab
you.
these young men and women who are
Thank you.
willing to put in the hours to be in those spaces, because what they need experience. They need the hours because a lot of times, especially when you're talking about, journalism and broadcasting and, having conversations with people, the experience is where you get it from. being in those roles and being in those spaces that allow you to grow and have conversations and learn from people who are doing the conversations, that's going to help, benefit them to, okay, I'm going to get a job. And now I can proudly say that I'm an HBCU grad and I started, interviewing athletes that are now in the pros.
Mm-hmm.
Stop playing. And it's so crazy because, guys, like, I currently am I coach at NC State, right? There's a young man, his name's Chance. Shout out to Chance. He comes in every single practice, not even a meet, right? Well, he does go to the meets, but like in addition to the competitions, he comes into practice and his job is to take pictures and to take videos on his phone. He doesn't have a camera. He doesn't have a Nikon or a Canon. You know what I'm saying? This young man comes in with his iPhone, I believe is an 11. It's not even a 14.
11.
Comes in and takes
Robin, I'll be damned.
and videos.
Robin, I'll be damned.
And mind you, guys, like, again, I don't know if this young man is paid, but he's not the only one that I have seen in these spaces. I mean, my former institution, we had a person that just wanted to take videos for free and posted it. This young man came to our university and said, hey, I am a photography student at this university. I'm trying to build my business. I'm trying to build my brand. Could I take your videos? No cost to you guys. I'm just trying to get experience. I've never done live action shows. I've never done live action meets. I've never... Give these young people a chance. That's who's going to help us get modern. These Gen Z folks, listen, if y'all don't know, these young people are going to help, right? If we allow them to. We can't keep shutting them out and making things difficult because we don't want change. Stop. I can't stand it. We could have had these videos posted. I look at, what frustrates me every single year, y'all? I'll go on like either an HBCU website, you know what I'm saying? Like athletics, it's always athletics. And I'm just like, why does this stuff still say 2018? Why does some of these articles, I'm not going to put anybody under the bus, but y'all know who you are. Go on and check your websites.
Check the damn website.
Still have
I
the
know who it ain't.
in it. Throw it away and start again, because we're not doing that. Why is your stuff not up to date? Why do we still have, you know what I'm saying? And some folks are doing better. I get it, but no. Yeah.
But, Jay, you got something to say? Oh, I know you.
I can't really speak on other institutions. I know Van took the route of, getting that social media presence felt a little bit more in the past couple of years. And I think that's done wonders. Shout out to, our media guy. Josh, he does a really good job. So he has he actually has students. So it's people that are enrolled that are working the games. And because Josh didn't go to every game. They're taking pictures at softball games, baseball games, basketball games. He has about 3 to 4 different kids, that are coming with him all the time, taking pictures. So shout out to him. I think a lot of institutions can kind of take notes from that and get their program rolling. Because I feel like they might believe that it's a financial problem, but in all actuality, is not really, because you have the supplies at your institution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But this is my thing, Jerry. Like, you talking about it's a phone. Jerry, it's a iPhone. Jerry, it is a iPhone.
Yeah.
And hold up.
Said I'm fed up.
And this is a segment that I haven't said in a long time. That I haven't even hold up.
This is a taker, not a killer. So it's time for me to speak on.
Why are you thinking this?
You got me fucked up.
These schools can't buy 3 iPhones and say, go out there and record some stuff. You got me
And
effed up,
sometimes
Jerry.
it's cheaper on the family plan.
Jerry, thank you, Robin. Hey, hold on. Let me add it. Let me add another one. Ain't the SWAC sponsored by Boost Mobile or something, or one of those companies?
Look, let me
Ain't they sponsored by one of those companies?
find out.
I know. I
Let
can't.
me.
They are sponsored by one of those companies. I don't know if it's Boost or it's one of the Cricket. I think it's Cricket.
Fam is with AT&T.
No, it definitely is Cricket. It's the
okay. Well, the
first ad that I see
has a
on
sponsorship
Cricket.
with Cricket.
Mm.
Why cannot Cricket pay for the coverage? We just buy the phones.
But here's the gag, guys. It doesn't need a phone plan. They don't need to call each other. All they need is the Wi-Fi password.
Right. Guess what? Probably the Wi-Fi probably don't even work that strong.
Okay.
Really, they don't use their own phone. If you
They
want
can use their own phone.
because that's what a lot of people do. They use their own phones.
Right, because that's their personal property and they can be edited. You know, we
But
need to sign a letter or something.
But my thing is this. Shout outs to Josh, because like literally he does everything. Like he has a video out now of the spring practice. Like there is nobody in HBCU land that has a video right now of spring practice. Nobody has people mic'd up at spring practice. The only team is FAMU. And that's sad.
Yeah.
People wants to see their teams, what they're doing in spring practice, who their highlight athlete of today is. Like they even highlight softball and their athletes and the way they stroll and the way they do things. Like why we're not seeing none of this environment as far as other schools.
And you know they got some man or woman on that campus that used to do highlight tapes in high school for all their little friends.
What?
They got it, and they probably elevated too. They didn't took a couple classes. They are ready. They are ready and willing. Stop playing with these people.
These are great videos too.
It doesn't take long to do this. It doesn't.
Oh, that look nice.
All over 12 swat, busting all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole seal, I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deal, we been tripping like 80. So, got a cash out. Told him.
Robin, how I bet it didn't take him 5 minutes to do that. Jerry, if you asked him, he probably say it only took me like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
It ain't nothing.
Yeah, it don't take me 5 minutes. But these other schools acted like, oh my gosh, how did they do that?
Yeah.
How hey Jerry, they like this. How did they get their little logo and the Nike symbol and LeBron? How they get that down there?
Look, I be asking too, but I feel like y'all are talented.
That's the problem.
Don't ask me to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
But go ahead, Jerry.
Look, that's the problem. What R. Kelly say? Open your eyes, use your mind. Like,
stop playing.
we got people like at other institutions that are not utilizing the youth. Like we have people that don't know how to work and do, graphic design, Photoshop, none of that stuff. So they don't have social media. So if you don't have a presence on social media, how can you even relate to the demographic that you're trying to recruit? We're not recruiting 50, 60, 70-year-old people that aren't on social media. We're trying to recruit kids that are in high school. What do they use? TikTok, Instagram, all the social media. So you have to use those platforms if you want to improve your enrollment, if you want to improve your athletics program as a whole.
It's that deep.
Yeah.
It really is that deep.
but my thing is, Robin, is like for me, it shouldn't take. It shouldn't take. I mean, I do it because I love it. You know, I do
Yeah.
it because I want to hear players' voices. I got 2 interviews coming up. I got one with General Hunt, and I got one with one of Jerry's closest friends that played in HBCU Legacy Bowl. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why is not the SWAC, the me at HBCU game, they covering these kids?
Mm-hmm.
Why they're not interviewing these kids? You know this. For me personally, you know this is General Hunt big year. This is his year to show the fuck out. So why are you not spotlighting this dude on HBCU game day?
Right. No, I get it.
Like why? Why are we not thinking about these things? Oh, you know, it's a couple of kids that we can spotlight right now that's, you know, about to transition themselves to the league.
Yeah.
Andrew Body, why are we not spotlighting him? He's a good athlete. He's a good kid. He has NIL deals. Why not interview that kid? Why not follow that kid right now from spring practice all the way to the end of the season? And you can make that a show. You can make that a 8-episode series. And you can put that out on the swagnetwork.com. You only gotta pay $5.99 monthly. But no, we too late. We too lazy.
Hope you don't get a lot of views because somebody gonna take your idea because you are on to something.
Look, on to it.
But Jerry, like
league pass.
But the thing about it is, like, you have SEC Network, you ACC Network. We have all these other conference networks, but we don't have a damn network. And we are the most. Our demographic, the SWAC, has the most fan attendance of any FCS game in America. But we can't have our own network in the FCS.
Now you saying all them numbers, you doubling down on that. You 10 toes down that we have the largest.
Or you 8 toes like Dion?
No, I'm 10 toes. We have the largest fan base attendance as far as the FCS. As far as the SWAC community, the SWAC in whole, and probably MEAC too. Like, we have the largest fan base that attend games.
That's crazy.
And we can't have our own network. You can't even sit down and think about, oh, let's have a SWAC network. You know, let's follow this kid. He's been doing real good. He did real good last year. Let's follow him. You know.
Dog, in our actuality, when we do this, this is not only, you know, helping the SWAC. These are helping our athletes get exposure. Like, this is, if we did this with Xavier Smith, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of big time, you know, NFL teams that have been like, oh, I've already seen him on this network. I already seen he's on YouTube. Like, because it's going to get shared, dog.
Yeah.
HBCUs is what's trending right now. So I'm sure if we were having a network like that, it wouldn't be hard to get that to be a viral video.
And more importantly, it gives people more opportunities to watch it, more ways to watch it. Because when you think about it, like, there's more than one way to watch some of these games that air on ESPN or their ACC network, you know what I'm saying, or TNT or TBS. Like, there's so many different ways that HBCUs can have exposure. And I feel like that's probably, you know, going back to like the mindset on how a lot of administrators think about, like, is it really difficult to do all of this? No, because honestly, you know, really the foundation is kind of already laid out. You just need to follow it. Like, it's
Robin,
it's
my thing is this, Robin. You almost have, as far as the SWAC is concerned, I don't know about the MEAC. As far as the SWAC, you have HBCU, you have YouTuber for each HBCU.
Yeah.
You literally have either 2-to-1 YouTuber for each school.
Yeah.
Why can't you conglomerate? Like, what's wrong? What is really going on?
Well,
You dog.
That's the push. That's the things when people ask, you know, what could they do? What are people looking for? Here's your resource right here. it's like it's not like we're not talking about it, and I'm pretty sure we're not the only people that have had these ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's almost like we getting them to listen is the part, getting them to sit down and hear essentially what's going to make their life a hell of a lot easier by just doing things differently. And
Yeah.
that's the case. That's where we are.
Well, Robin, I think one person that will listen to HBCU League Pass. So if y'all is listening, come holler at the priest and read.
Period.
Yeah, if y'all listen, I know y'all listen because y'all like
We
to
know
get bags.
y'all are listening.
Yeah, y'all like to get bags.
Tell everybody else.
Yeah, and now if the Swack and me at listening, just holler at us. We like to get bags too now. So, but yeah.
Yeah, better call on Bridget.
Calm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, you sound all right. That sound like a little
Yeah, look, you heard that vibrato. You heard that vibrato.
You got some so Cafe Soul Wednesdays.
Look. It came from the diaphragm. Stop playing.
Okay, Bobby Proud.
Oh, say. You see, that is my show. Stop it.
But yeah, that's our little that's my little soapbox. Is HBCU's got to do better with social media. But shout out to Pam and Grambling because they've been doing their thing for real.
Absolutely.
But shoot, well that'll be it for today, guys. Shoot,
remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. All of the different features that you see on your YouTubes. Do it.
Yes. Please subscribe to Bridges on Top for especially all your FAMU needs. Definitely subscribe to Bridges on Top. And for the weekly show, definitely subscribe into the Priest Not Read. We'll talk about anything sports that's going on, transpiring this week. For me personally, what I got coming up, I got a couple of interviews coming up, and I got some big things rolling around. But stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
All right now. Leaving us in suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you guys got going on?
Making it through the week, honey. It's Wednesday, hump day. So got one more day of class. It's going. Yo, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like 2023 hit the ground running. Okay. I'm like, well, now I'm playing the summertime.
2023, like you saying, bolting this thing.
Look, they said, we didn't sitting here waiting for our turn way too long. Y'all done had too much. I am ready. So yeah, it's just constantly moving and keep it up with time, bro. That's it.
Halfway through March already. I feel like we really just started the year, but it's flying by. So
yes.
Yeah, that part.
That is crazy.
That part. But like I gotta say, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank my lovely friends for always showing up, coming through for me. So I want to always appreciate them, put the spotlight on them, because if it weren't for them, it wouldn't be a Priest Not Read. It wouldn't be a Priest Not Read if it weren't for them. So I like to say thank to my two friends. And thank for the people that's
bro, we wouldn't be here. I know I would not be on YouTube right now.
No, I know I wouldn't be either.
I feel you.
Not doing live shows. I would just like to point out that we started this show doing previously recorded, guys. Previously, we met up, we made the tapes, we said, oh, this gotta come out, and then Ron said, guys, we're going live.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, because y'all.
We went 2 shows in Raleigh. Yeah, that's enough. We ain't doing this no more.
When I was editing, I was editing them shows. I had to put the beginning and the end.
You did.
If you watch the show, I had commercials on there too. Now I had commercials on there.
No, literally, that's crazy.
I need to bring those commercials back. That's what I need to start doing. I need to bring those little commercials back. That's what I need to start doing. But it was a process in the beginning.
It was stuff.
Look how far we've come. Love to see it. But yes, love you all. Stay tuned next week.
Yes. Stay tuned. We definitely gonna do the schedule review next week. I know we missed it 2 weeks in a row, but we're gonna hop back on the schedule review for these other HBCUs. We are not gonna leave y'all out. We gonna tell you what your damn record is, cause yeah, I got it on the books.
We gonna call it.
I
Not
got
the
it on the
book.
books.
Not your handy dandy notebook.
Hey,
I
Rob,
got that for you.
I got it on the books now. Hold on, where Jerry's at? I got it on the books now. Hold on, Rob, I got you on the books now. I got you on the books.
Stop playing.
I
That's right,
ain't
Ron.
playing with y'all today.
You better keep minutes for this meeting. God damn it.
I ain't playing with y'all today. I got y'all on the books.
Dude say in the courtroom, bro, you sound just like him when you said that. You like,
I'm playing with y'all today. Playing with y'all,
I'm not.
Love that. Yes.
God dang it. Shoot. We gonna get back to these schedule reviews next week. God dang it.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. But peace, love, happiness, and y'all have a great Wednesday night, man.